Hello everybody, it's Evil Murloc here. Hello my evil minions. Today we'll be casting 3 games where featuring Meek. They were sent to me by Sea Sasha and I assume they are good. So let's just get straight into it. Meek, game number 1. Meek spawning in civilized yellow on the southern side of the map and Sea Sasha on the left side. Yeah, left side. Sea Sasha, both players actually running Squizzard. Meek running his classic structure Faraday deck. And Sea Sasha going with the meta tier 2 choice and Bore Mine. Meek might be trying for one of his classic MG rushes, but decides to burrow back and go up to 7 farms. He still has a chance to do something, but oh right. He totally scouted the Warren, the safety Warren from Deep Sea, so obviously he cannot rush now. And he should probably buy a safety Warren of his own, otherwise Deep Sea could totally... He could totally get like 1-2 picks if he just moved out on the map. But decides against it. And well, I suppose that means Meek is a little bit ahead right now, but it really doesn't matter. Oh, looks like Meek is... maybe he's expanding. Both players. Looks like it's just a basic early game, both players greedying up on their second farms, second mills I mean. Ooh, Meek saw that mine, so he knows now that mines exist on the map. Might not be the best for Deep Sea. In fact, it triggers him to expand. And he goes into his skunks as tier 2. Ooh, and Sasha goes into tier 3, but Meek did not scout that. He turned back right when he saw the expansion. Doubling down on those skunks and ecoing up on his second base, but he does not know about the tier 3. Does not know about the boar. In fact, really neglecting his scouting right now. Just reselling, selling farms. I really don't know what Meek was doing there. Probably trying to get some of his skunks to build, but really he just wasted infinite time. He does not deep scout. Once again. A huge fail from a Meek. And the bar is currently building. Okay, Meek just sold off everything. Really don't know why he would do that. Because he does not know about anything. But he's going into mass tier 1. Wizard composition. Bar is 25 seconds away from getting finished. And if you want to mine creel, you can just rally the skunks themselves first. If you're really worried about that. Yeah, Meek making sure to hit every single mine. And he's sieging Sasha, using the mill for tanking. But there's just so much tier 1. He loses all of his units when the bar pops out on a single Falcon alive. Meek is slightly ahead on economy, but not that much. These lizards are really nice on this retreat for Sasha. Meek should really split his army, but he just Goes on the boar. And loses a lot of his troops, but he's still ahead on eco, and these two balloons are really nice for him. But Sea Sasha kept the boar alive and can actually heal him in this little healing pit. Meek insanely ahead on eco right now, but Sea Sasha will probably equalize. And Meek has to figure out now how to defeat the boar with just tier 1. Since he doesn't have any other damaging troops, really. Of course, there is this little pearl string of mills, which he can actually frog jump over using his defenses, so he does have the late game advantage right now. He can actually just push his defenses a little bit forward and claim this mill, then he can use those defenses to claim this mill, etc, etc. Yeah, Deep Sea is gonna get some free value over here. And... but he's gonna get caught out. And Meek gets some nice value. But then the boar catches him. Those skunks are really not that useful right now, but... loses all of them. Oh, that was a nice ferret hit, just completely destroying that chameleon. But yeah, the ferret is not doing anything, the boar is just... okay, it just hit the boar, but since the boar is continuously moving, really it's impossible to be hit by the ferrets. The Meek is just bleeding right now. Oh, another ferret hit on that boar. Yeah, since the eco is equalized now, Sasha is getting a lot of value. A lot of value. You can see how Meek's value instantly spiked when he plays down those two balloons. And they should get up in time. So he will secure a nice defensive position right here. Balloons really good against falcons and boar. MGs die to boar. Eventually, they don't actually do that much damage, but they should be good against the tier 1 at least. And they are just nice for tanking and whatever. Maybe they'll distract the boar. Certainly a good position for Meek, especially with him securing the economic advantage right now. And Sasha is attacking into mass falcon. Which is a good idea, noticing that Meek doesn't have any good anti-air. Or at least anything that scales well as anti-air against Sasha's comp. Since, you know, squirrels can be defeated by the boar. And looks like he is moving out. I guess he's gonna get some free value, but of course, Meek has those balloons which give him infinite vision, and it will just end up as free value for Meek. Yeah, you always have to remember that balloons basically make your enemy see everything. It's super easy to forget, but it's such a huge advantage. In fact, this is a really nice accidental split. Army split from a Meek. And these balloons are getting insane value against the tier 2, tier 3. Meek could total target fire that boar. Nice. Finishing it, finally finishing it off. Yeah, those balloons were just continuously getting value throughout the whole battle. And now with the economic advantage, and even tech advantage, I suppose, considering that Meek has a single tier 2 and Sea Sasha has none, he will have a huge advantage. I mean, yeah, the economy alone will now win it for Meek, so really Sasha would have to get a hugely good battle here in order to make a comeback. And it looks like that is exactly what he will get. As Meek attacks directly into the most death balled of balls. Yeah, Sasha got about twice the army value, lost only half of the army value in that battle. Relative to what Meek lost. But yeah, Meek is still massively ahead, especially considering the economy. Ooh, trying a lizard flank. And going for a base race instead of fighting it. I'm not sure I agree with that. I mean, Sasha is starving now, so at least that's something. But yeah, that was a huge loss for Meek. He should have just fought there, I think. Maybe underestimated or overestimated Sasha's army size? Now he's just losing stuff for no reason in the middle of the map. And he gives up. What a crazy match, truly. Meek just threw in those last two battles. Just attacking while you're ahead on eco is kind of just a bad move. He just misplayed, hugely. Yeah, congrats on Sasha on the comeback. Now let's go for match 2. This one is also against Deep Sea, but don't worry. The last one will be against somebody else. It's not just Sasha wins. Meek. Going for an embarrassingly meta deck. Using that wolf over there. No ferrets, no defenses. And Sasha going for something more interesting, using wire, artillery, and of course pigeon badger I mean. Meek is actually rushing, I just noticed that. Deep Sea is building a safety warren and trying to pop out some wire just in time. Meek kind of waited for all 6 squirrels. So let's see if those will be able to do anything. Yeah, he does have a big local advantage. And gets a lot of value. Kills 2 squirrels, loses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But killed 2 pigs, so he's 40 food ahead. About 40 food ahead. And he's ahead on economy now. Because Sasha is wasting food on wire. Army counts have equalized. And Meek is decisively ahead currently. Meek going into scavengers. And Deep Sea Sasha countering with his own skunks. Well, which are actually pretty good against the scavengers. Of course, he doesn't know yet what tier 2 Meek has. Sasha is eyeing this ninja. We'll have to see if Meek will be able to sniff something out or not. Sasha manages to scout those mines. Really unfortunate for Meek. And Sasha is going to try to use this nice choke point to gas up all of Meek's units. but decides against it and retreats. Okay. Sea Sasha is ahead with 2 farms right now. No reason for him to push. And meek is attacking. Should be careful. Careful. He doesn't want to lose his commander. If that happens, Sasha can just pounce on him, pounce on his army, and it'll kind of be over for him. Nice wire fortress here for Sasha. But meek, instead of expanding, actually decides to go into wolf. Sasha massively ahead on economy. 5 farms ahead now. But is behind his wire fortress. Meek really not doing any scouting right now, or for the past 2 minutes, but just been dancing around his base. So has no idea about any deck being developed or ninja business. Deepsea finally decides to drop down the artillery. Meek is not really worried, but because he has the wolf, he's gonna tries to get some free wire value. And trying for a flank, but realizes he cannot really push through those skunks through the wire. So decides to wait for his wolf, not knowing he's massively behind on economy. The artillery is going to be really nice to defend everything Sasha has. Not sure if it's that good against wolf, because wolf-buffed units can probably move away from where the shells drop fast enough. Yeah, this is nice for meek. These 2 campfires will equalize the economy a little bit, but Sasha is still 3 farms ahead, which is now way more percentage-wise, as the first farms are finally flowing out. Ooh. Meek actually decides to expand on the low ground, which can easily be sieged by an artillery cannon, which Sasha can just drop somewhere in the high ground over here, or even just he can just use his skunks. Meek just decides to go all the way around. And then changes his mind. He almost scouted that base, but he doesn't even know it exists, unfortunately for him. Meek is really buying up all the mills, just worried about like a base rush or something. They probably serve as distractions. Whenever Sasha would move out, he could then strike at this artillery cannon, knowing the Sasha's army somewhere else. He does have a badger finally out, so the tier 3 game is equalized. Army values are actually surprisingly similar. And Sasha is gonna get this mill for free. This might trigger meek to attack. And these wolf buff units are gonna catch this badger alone, naked. These artillery shells are gonna be kind of shredding this army. I say every single one of them missed. Going really deep. That's 100 minus 180 food. Minus 180 food more. And actually manages to save his wolf. And as he retreats, he's gonna find his base. Sees how few bushels are left. That it was farming for a really long time. Now he's gonna try to save his wolf, but no, he retreats into the corner. And actually there are like 5 squirrels here. actually sells the wolf, knowing he was not able to save it, and saves the food at least, even though he kind of loses out on tempo. Sasha already rebuilding 2 badgers though. And actually, he's still ahead on economy, Sasha. And massively ahead on army as well, although that's mainly wire and the cannon. Of course, Meek has also his mines, so let's count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 6 more. 6, 12 times 20. 100 and 240. Yeah, Sasha has way still more like 100, 200 food more in defense. Oh yeah, now he can actually easily pressure with his falcons. Let's abuse this. Sasha does know his attention is up north, so he's gonna try to get some free value on these warrens, on these farms. Actually, just does nothing. Just sells off some wire and then stays around. Now finally decides to move out. Actually, just carefully inches forwards, trying to claim this whole area with that artillery cannon. I guess that's good. This way he will be able to claim this mill, which is basically untouched, and ensure his economic lead, which now Sasha is actually behind in economy, as Meek finally gets even more farms and Deep Sea Sashas are following out. Meek scouts this, but it's probably too late. There are like 10 seconds until it's done. Ooh, and Badger comes in just clutch, just in time. Meek knows he cannot. Double Badger even! It looks like it's over for Meek. The Badgers will be able to rev up on these warrens and then chain their rev all the way through all of Meek's bases. Though they are a little bit forward right now. They are a little bit forward, but Meek is not able to capitalize. Sasha trying to secure his lead. Meek dropping down some desperation mines, hoping to catch these badgers, but Sasha is really careful. Now, Badger's getting up a huge rev and just shredding everything. Looks like it's over. And Meek taps out, knowing there's nothing he can do against attacking. And let's go into the final game. Meek 3, this one is against Fleur-de-Lis. Meek going for his classic triple tier 3 strategy. He showed this one on his YouTube channel. He has a tutorial for it. And it's really hard to play. I tried it once and I don't know, it's just impossible. It's just impossible to play it. But it does work well apparently. Fleur-de-Lis though, using a pretty nice deck. Classic Squirrel Toad, really popular, really strong, and a nice Swiss Army Knife of tier 2, only lacking in Chameleons. Neither player trying anything funny. Yeah, let's just go fast forward over there through the early game. Both players expanding. Like Fleur-de-Lis is stacking into skunks. Meek is massively going up, but it's only 2 extra farms, which, when you think about it, is just as much as 1 farm and 1 mill, which is what you would be spending if you were just expanding and your opponent not expanding. So it's actually completely safe to be 2 farms ahead on your opponent. Yeah, both players stacking, both players farming, really even. Just a classic mirror match. Nothing to really say. Fleur does have that free campfire. Ooh, Meek already teching, and since Fleur-de-Lis has a little bit ahead on farms, he has no tempo to exploit this. Let me check if he scouted that. Yeah, he did, He knows what he's up against, and he just starts stacking into tier 2, knowing his tier 3 would not be in time, but also knowing that Meek will not attack until his own tier 3 is out. Now he's gonna scout the other tier 3, the owl. Let's see what he will do. He does not have his own tier 3 actually, so obviously he cannot attack into tier 3. He's actually massively expanding. Probably to prevent any base race shenanigans, to get more HP on those mills, and of course to start farming up to be able to counter whatever owl structures, owl things Meek will get up. The wolf is still not out, so Fleur-de-Lis is gonna try a little bit of an attack before Meek's tier 3 are out, but the wolf is almost here, so whatever value Meek will get, Fleur will get will be minimal. Although he does get 2 farms, he might lose 1 falcon. Relatively even trade, I suppose, but of course Fleur is massively ahead on Nico right now. I mean, he does have that other base completely full, and he's filling up his third base already, and does have the campfire as well. But Meek's Fox is almost done as well, buffing the speed even, so yeah, that's actually really nice that the wolf is not buffing warrants which are not building anything. I never noticed that it worked that way. At least the units aren't completely dumb. Ooh, the fox is actually almost managed to snipe down the commander. That would have been huge for Meek, but well, doesn't happen. Now he's just dancing around, trying to snipe all these falcons with his fox. The mice providing a little bit of meat shield, but they're kind of all dead right now. Yeah, that wolf buffed fox is really doing a number on these falcons. It's minus 60 every second. Of course, Fleur didn't want to go into only the ground troops, because then the owl would have a huge value on his squirrels. I think that's the second time the fox actually sniped down the commander, which now gives huge value for me. I can see why some people don't want the fox to be able to stop targeting the commander, because then you cannot pull off and stuff like that. My god, I cannot believe Meek lost to the wolf after Fleur-de-Lis died. That was so embarrassing from Meek actually. Oh my god! Even losing the fox, seriously? This he just threw! I mean, that just gave the game over to Fleur. Meek is so behind on economy, so behind on tempo right now. You can see the huge downlines where he lost those tier 3s. Complete misplace from Meek. Throwing the game. Even losing the 3 mice. That was really unfortunate. Instantly gonna come out when it wolf's spawns. Trying to save whatever he has. Now really he needs the fox. Let's see if he can come back from this, because I mean, he's starving now, so he needs to sell something. The Falcons are still really huge value for me. Did the commander die again? That has to be so annoying for Fleur. Losing the commander 3 times, losing her army 3 times. But Meek is 14 seconds away from starving, he has to sell something. Manages to stave off starvation. Now he just needs to get value. Fleur did sell all of his falcons and he's going into Master 1. Meek should really not be losing these mice, let's be real. The fact that he's losing these mice and constantly losing his meat shield is really bad for him. Okay, he lost the mill again, but he still has 2 squirrel warrens which he can sell. So he's actually fine, he can still stave off starvation 1 more time. The water is really nice, managing to get this falcon before anything bad happens. Fleur's army is getting split a little bit, which can be dangerous for both sides. Meek is getting cornered a little bit though. But the mice providing sufficient meat shield. Meek building manages to build the thingy just in time. But he will have to sell off either the wolf, the owl, one of his tier 3, so we can build some farms. Good, good, good. Sells off the owl, honestly probably the best choice. As long as he doesn't miss my crow, he can win. Yeah, forced to scout if... And he finally manages to pull it off! And defeats Fleur, using his really annoying tier 3, triple tier 3 deck. Yeah, cool match, cool match. Really close game. Meek throwing almost. But yeah, manages to pull through. Yeah, that was it for today. Cool casts, and see you next time.